Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ginger Broderick, and you're watching the Ginger New York TV show. We are here live at the M&N TV studios on West 59th Street in New York City, and we also do live streaming all over the world. So thank you to all my friends and family and colleagues that tune in and watch the show. And I want to welcome my guest today. He's my Irish cousin, and his name is Dave Mullen. He has music that's the theme music for Ginger New York. So I've always talked about him. I finally got him into the studio, and I want you to meet Dave Mullen. Dave, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ginger.
We hear your music all the time, and I always tell everyone he's my handsome Irish cousin. So
well,
thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for the props, and it's always a pleasure to contribute to this great show.
Yes.
GNY.
Thank you. And we're going to start out the show today with one of your songs. And can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, it's my arrangement. It's actually Stevie Wonder's song. I wish I could say I wrote it, but I didn't. It's a tune called As, and this is my arrangement of it with the incomparable Nile Rodgers on guitar and Abe Fogle on drums and a whole lot of wonderful New York-based musicians. So
you have a choir in there as well?
Oh yes, and the True Worship Ministries choir as well, who somebody named Mariah Carey uses once in a while.
Oh, okay, so you got some big names on that.
So it's kind of fun.
Well, take it away, control room. If you can roll in some of the background music for Dave, that would be great. And Wow. Come on over to the
All right. Well,
chairs,
thank
Dave.
you. Hope you enjoyed that.
I sure did. I think the whole building did. It was pretty
Hope you enjoyed that one.
loud.
Yeah, right? Nobody ever said I had a small sound, that's for sure. You know?
Welcome to
Right.
the show.
Pleasure.
Thank you so
It's
much.
Such a pleasure.
Cousin
Such a
Dave, I've
pleasure.
been trying to get you in here for a year. Actually, we did a tape show at the Gibson Guitar Showroom.
Yes, we did.
Yep, that was my first tape show at Gibson. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it was a lot of
absolutely.
fun.
That was fun.
Yes, thank you very much.
That's right.
And so we come from the same Irish heritage.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and one of the questions I had for you is, do you know what county in Ireland you're from?
My family harks from County Cork, Rebel Cork, they call it.
Oh, really? Okay.
You know, scene of many of the uprisings and whatnot, and Galway as well.
Galway, yeah. Is that a favorite place? Have you visited Ireland?
I have.
Have
I
you?
have. Magical place.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just sometimes the stereotypes are sometimes not quite there, but it's really a truly mystical place, and yeah, it's pretty wonderful.
I've never been
highly
there.
recommended. Absolutely.
I had an Irish lass on a couple of weeks ago, and she's from Limerick, Ireland.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice,
so
nice.
Big shout to Siobhan. She's my new adopted cousin.
Nice,
as well.
nice,
So we
nice.
have more family.
We're all family, right?
Did you have a nice Thanksgiving?
I did, very nice. And yours?
Yeah, I did. It was
Nice.
a little quiet because I have a broken foot that I'm still
Right,
healing
right,
from.
right.
But
No football. No football.
that's how I broke it.
right.
Going for a touchdown. That's great. So what did you have for Thanksgiving? I understand.
Well, I
you
had a delicious Puerto Rican turkey that my
wow.
wife made. I wanted to give a little shout out to my wife, Margie, and my son, Aiden, if you're watching. Love you. Amazing. I was never a big fan of turkey in general until we hooked up. And her mother, God rest her soul, used to make these amazing turkeys. And she's carrying on that tradition.
That's
It's just they
wonderful.
stick the sofrito under the skin. It's
That's
delicious.
great.
Wonderful, yeah.
Are you the cook of the family, or
No.
does she know? No, she
No,
does
not
it.
me.
Yeah.
I think my turkey would taste like a football. So
Yeah. So how long have you been playing the sax?
I have been playing, let's see, about 10 years.
10
No, I'm
years.
kidding. Totally lying. About 35 years.
Really? Yeah. So you were a little munchkin.
So I started when I was 30, about 1 year old. So.
I'm 33 too.
Yeah,
so it's okay.
exactly.
We all camouflage our age as we get older.
Of course
you know?
we do.
Yeah. So that's a pretty strong instrument. I mean, it's pretty loud. I mean, how does the family handle? Or do you come from a family of musicians?
I don't actually. I'm the only musician in my family that I can trace. Though I believe I had a great aunt that sang with Caruso. That's about
Wow.
the only thing I can trace back with any sort of musical lineage.
And what made you decide on the sax?
Well, it's funny. My dad was a DJ back in the late 50s, early 60s. So as a kid, I used to just go and grab all these 45s and just play them. I had this little turntable like you probably had, and we used to rock that thing. And
They're coming back. I just met some people, some kids, from Toronto who were in for an album fair. And I'm like, what?
Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it is
they're
actually.
collectors of albums, So I said I have a bunch of them at home, so let me know if there's
Absolutely.
anything,
So, of course, he had some, incredible old R&B recordings, early rock and roll, and of course the saxophone was very prevalent.
Yes.
In that music. So I'm sure.
That's how you got
It wasn't like an
picked up?
aha moment, but it was just
Yeah.
something I naturally gravitated towards. So.
One of my early jazz musicians, when I started listening to music outside of, like rock and roll, was Gato Barbieri.
Nice, sure.
And so my ear is very tuned to like great musicianship.
Sure,
and so when I
sure.
first heard you, I was like, oh my goodness.
Absolutely, I got compared to him in a quote, in a review I did a couple of years ago. So
Good for you.
I'll take it.
Yeah, congratulations. And you
Sure.
have a band, Dave Mullen and Butter?
Butter.
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 Tell us how that came
Bostonians don't
about.
produce our R's very well, so Butter. Yeah, Dave
Butter?
Mullen and Butter. You can hear it at www.davemullen.com. There's some wonderful people on there. I got to deal with RMG, which is Robert's Music Group. Shout out to Barry Roberts out there. And yeah, some wonderful people. Nile Rodgers, which you just heard on the Stevie Wonder song "As."
And he's part of Daft Punk, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
Yes, he is.
that's pretty serious.
yeah,
But he's part of a lot of different groups in the past.
Yeah, he came up through Chic originally, then of course became the de facto producer of the '80s. Producing David Bowie and the Rolling Stones and Madonna, everyone else, and now he's once again reinvented himself.
Wonderful.
With this Daft Punk thing, so it's an honor to have him on the record, and
Yeah.
so.
And you said Mariah Carey's choir's
The
on
Mariah
there too?
Carey's Choir, the True Worship Ministries in Brooklyn, amazing
Wow.
church and doing incredible things. And
You said it was Stevie Wonder's song "As."
Yes.
Right? How do you have to call him up and say, "Hey, Stevie, can I use your music?"
I wish I could. I wish I knew him personally. Steve, if you're out there, I'd love to be friends. Let's be Facebook friends. No, the way you do it is you contact whoever represents them through their performing rights organization. And of course, we have the same organization. We both go through ASCAP, so it was a little simpler. And you can basically cover any song, but generally speaking, there's a fee to do so. And depending on the artist, that fee varies. So
it's a one-time fee, and then when you produce this song or you rearranged it, what you did. And you get, say, some radio airplay, do you have to then go back and pay them a royalty?
Yes,
outside that?
well, they would actually get their own, their
okay.
monies, distributed
Separately.
to them
You
separately.
don't have to do any of the accounting?
That's right, because
Okay.
when you actually register the song, you register your publishing company as well as his.
Oh, okay.
And I believe it's Mobet
Okay.
Publishing through ASCAP. So
That's exciting.
yeah,
Wow.
so
Wow. You're working with a lot of great people. And I met you through Swiss Chris.
absolutely.
Well, I know we're cousins, but you know how that goes. But and then we share a lot of different friends as a result
Yes,
of that
we do.
network.
Yes,
Yeah,
we do.
So you're
A big
really
family,
yes.
wonderful musicians out there.
Unbelievable. Yeah, you're a big
Yeah.
mainstay in the music scene in
Oh,
New York.
Well, thank you
Yeah,
so much.
and I got a quote that my show's getting really funky having Dave Mullen here.
Well, it's an honor to be here.
So you have a CD that's out called Mahoney's Way.
Yes, I do.
And that's the theme song for GNY, so thank you very much.
Of course.
We'll hear that a little bit later on, so I'm just so excited. I've always talked about you, and finally you're here.
Absolutely, it's an
Yeah.
honor. It's an honor,
Yeah.
truly.
Was it difficult to travel into New York City today?
Not at all. Not
No?
at all.
Black Friday and all
Black
that? You're not
Friday just
doing-
zipped right in.
No problem.
No drama whatsoever.
Tell me about the CD here, Mahoney's Way. How did you come about with the title?
Well, Mahoney's my nickname,
Oh,
which
okay.
was given
Yeah.
to me. Of course, you never give yourself nicknames, right?
Uh-huh.
I've been called worse, but we won't get into that.
Mahoney.
And yeah, Mahoney's.
Mahoney Baloney?
Actually, it started out, originally it was My Horny, because I play horn,
okay.
and I kind of graduated into Mahoney. So, and it's just,
Great, because it sounds very Irish.
yeah, it certainly does.
And you have another group too, besides your Buddha, right? You have New York City Horns.
NYC Horns, yes.
NYC Horns.
Absolutely.
Tell us about that.
That's a new venture I just started with a good friend of mine, Richard Bolger. NYCHorns.com, where we are offering a service where you can hire New York City musicians.
Yes.
If you live in Kansas or if you live in anywhere, for that matter. And so we do mobile recording.
That's really interesting. So what happens? They send the music to you digitally, and then
Exactly. So, for instance,
you don't have to go out to Kansas.
Right. So, say you have a song that you would like to have some horn players on. You contact us. You send us the tracks. We do the recording here, and of course, the beauty of the internet and
It's amazing, isn't it?
And fast download speeds and all that stuff. You can just send it right back to them, and they put the money in the PayPal account, and everybody's happy. So
That's unbelievable.
yeah, it's wonderful. So NYCHorns.com. Please check it out.
Yeah. And you've played with some other famous names like Gloria Gaynor.
Sure.
Traveled all around the world with her.
Absolutely.
Good for
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah.
Boy, I was a big fan of hers, in the 70s when I was
Sure.
growing up. I Will Survive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I
It's
saw
just-
a really scary movie called Chainsaw Massacre, and I had to drive home from the country. Oh my God! But I survived. I got through.
Right,
I was listening to. I know. I was listening to that. It's like she said I could survive. And I got home. home, so it's been really fun.
Sure.
And then she's done some work with some shows with Casey and the Sunshine Band, so it's like
Sure. Yeah,
you're in the disco.
She's the hardest working woman in show business.
That's
And
wonderful.
she's out there. She's all over the world, and
Yeah.
we're going to be in Nashville and Miami coming up this month, and so she's just still working it.
That's great. It's a big song.
Yeah.
30 years later. What was it? Just recently, the 30-year anniversary, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
yes.
something. And you went to South Africa.
Yeah, in Brazil, Austria,
Yeah.
we go all over the place.
Wonderful.
So yeah, it's wonderful.
Wow. Some other big names. Gil Scott-Heron.
Gil Scott-Heron, sure.
Yeah, you recorded with him. Real Airs. P-Funk.
Right,
Wow.
right.
Hey, you know what? I got the CD here. It says Mahoney's Way. Can I get an autograph? Isn't that great when you can get autographs from your family and they say yes? Like, so fabulous. So would you give me an autograph?
Of course.
Could I get an autograph?
Of course.
Can I get
of
an
course.
autograph from you, Dave?
Absolutely.
Ginger.
Of course.
Yeah. So what else is going on? You have a son.
Yes, I do.
Is he a musician as well?
He plays saxophone.
Wow.
Yes,
yeah.
we had our first gig on Mother's Day back
wow.
in May, March, whenever it was.
Uh-huh. That's a big
And
treat.
it was funny because a friend of mine, a trombone player, Vinny Nobile, if you're out there, what up? Trombone player, great. And I've known him from back in Boston days, and we got reacquainted, after a number of years of not seeing one another. And he knew that my son had played. Of course, the beauty of Facebook, right? You see everything.
Oh, well, Facebook's
you
fabulous.
see everything, what everybody's up to.
Yeah, it's like
So-
Small Town Revisited, right? You want to get away from a small town, boy, you're right back in it. But I love it. It's like a party town
That's
for
right.
me.
So he
checking out
he
everything.
asked my son if he
Thank
wanted
you.
to do the gig with me. So. And of course, I had to negotiate with my son as to how much money he would make, But
yeah, and he's
it's cute.
engineer and producer.
He's a tough negotiator.
Really?
He basically wanted all the money. Like, no. So
And a vacation,
yeah,
right?
we worked him down. So
That's part of the business, is negotiating.
He's gonna be a tough businessman. Oh my
yeah.
God.
And how old is he now?
He's almost 11.
Wow.
Almost 11.
Good
so.
for you. Any words of advice about, for musicians, up-and-coming musicians? I mean, there's a lot of talented people out there,
Just-
singers, dancers, musicians.
I would say stay the course. You're going to have people, and there might be family members, they may be friends, they may be associates. There's going to be a whole lot of people out there saying you can't do this. And they're wrong. You
And why-
can do it.
Why are people like that? I mean,
Well,
is
I
it-
think, for a number of reasons. I think people they sometimes project their own inadequacies,
Okay.
but possibly. You really just got to keep your eye on the prize, so to speak. I mean, just, let the haters or the folks that don't want to necessarily support you fall by the wayside. They'll figure it out for themselves, right? But you really have to be, a little pig-headed and stubborn in this business just to keep on marching on, because you will have defeats, you will have rejections. You just got to keep doing it.
That's great.
You just got to keep doing it.
Do you have to go out for auditions, like say for Gloria? Did you have to audition for her band, or is that
No,
through?
that one I didn't. That was
Okay.
just a recommendation.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah, sometimes you do. You have to audition for people and whatnot, depending on the situation. So it's a part of the business. It's acting or any other entertainment business.
Yeah. We had some actors on recently, and they said, just always go out on auditions, even if you don't think you're going to get the part,
Right.
because a casting director may see you for another opportunity down the
Absolutely.
road.
And learning how to audition well is also a skill. The more you do it, the more comfortable you get.
Right.
You want to go in there, you want to stay loose, you want to have fun, and and project that. So, and the more you do it, obviously, the more comfortable you get at it. So.
Great. Now, you're a mainstay on the music scene, and I've been out, and suddenly you come up on stage, and I'm like, where's Dave's here? So it's a surprise. Do you have any upcoming shows that, I can get a little heads up on what's going on? Because you don't always, you post maybe after the show.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to get better with that stuff. So, any shows? I'm actually doing a lot of writing at the moment. So,
Okay.
really kind of focusing on the new album, because that album that you just heard, and the one you will hear, Mahoney's Way, that record came out in '07, so it's definitely time to get a new one out there. I can't do one a decade, so really kind of focusing on that and working for other folks at the moment, and of course the NYC.com venture, as well as other things as well. But I do have something in the works, but I don't want to speak it until it's. But please, check out DaveMullen.com. I do put everything up there pretty faithfully. So.
Yeah, and you got some great photos too.
Oh,
and some great videos and such.
Thank you.
And you come from Boston, and you were at Berkeley School.
I was,
right?
yes,
Music, right?
I was.
So there's a lot of great musicians from there that are
phenomenal,
here.
Phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
It really, it's just humbling to, to have been, to have studied with, some of the people I was able to, and to take, that knowledge. And I'm still learning from that stuff. You still occasionally go through those old books and notes and things and whatnot. It was a wonderful experience,
I went to business school, and I had to learn everything, all the vocabulary and such. And I guess I don't know what music school would be like. Right.
Well, it's it's similar. I mean, there's the stuff that's it's fun and sexy, and there's the dry stuff. But overall, it's a great experience.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you have anybody in particular that you idolize, or who's like a source of inspiration for you?
Who's a source of inspiration for me? Well, of course, Coltrane and Michael Brecker was, of course, huge influence.
Is he still alive? No, he passed away.
He passed away, unfortunately. God rest his soul. And he, he was, a huge influence on me. There's so many, because I also, I'm inspired by, people outside of the business as well, and people that don't even play saxophone. Quincy Jones, for instance.
Wow.
Is a huge influence, not just musically, but what he stands for in the business. I don't know if you saw his rock and roll induction ceremony recently, but he's kind of just came out and said it. It's like, thank you for all the accolades and whatnot, but look, America, we have to save our own Bachs and Beethovens and Mozarts, our Duke Ellingtons and Sarah Vaughan's and Ella Fitzgeralds, because the younger generation, they're forgetting about these people.
Right, yeah. I had a woman here on the show, Sarah McLawler, and she's an early jazz legend.
Right.
She's an American jazz legend, recognized through the White House. And she's in her later 80s now, and she was a mentor to Quincy Jones.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's something.
It is. Yeah, you have to, because it's this, it's an incredible lineage that has influenced, world, music and the world in general, and has to keep, alive here as well.
Do you hear some music on there? Oh my gosh, that's Dave Mullen's music. Oh my gosh, that's Mahoney's Way. Isn't that fun? I had to have it.
So it's such a fun song. Yeah.
Yeah, we got like a minute, 45 seconds left.
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to say? Big shout to anybody?
Well, like I said, family, friends out there, love all you guys, and hopefully we'll get to hang soon and have a blessed holiday season.
Oh yeah.
Is
there any favorite Christmas present out there for you?
I really don't need anything. I just, I really just want to focus on, just trying to be the best person I can, and trying to create music that hopefully, you out there will enjoy, and because that's, I don't need anything. I need nothing.
You're my kind of cousin. I don't need a present. Well, everyone, it's down to the last 10 seconds. Thank you very much for joining us on this Thanksgiving holiday weekend. We love you. Thank you. Join us in every Tuesday afternoon, 2 o'clock for Ginger New York TV show.
Absolutely.
Yay.
It's continued success.
Yay. Woo.